Have you ever set your alarm for 5 a.m. with big plans, only to hit snooze and wake up at 8 o'clock feeling guilty? Maybe you've read that successful people wake up early. Maybe you've tried it once, twice, maybe 10 times. But somehow you always slide back into old habits. You tell yourself, I'm just not a morning person. But what if the first hour of your day holds the power to change your entire life? What if one woman's story could prove that your destiny is decided before the sun rises? This is the story of a woman who had nothing until 5 a.m. became her secret weapon. Stay with me until the end because this might be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. In a small industrial town where factories hummed day and night, there lived a 32-year-old woman named Tara. Tara worked as a night security guard at a textile warehouse. Every evening at 8 p.m., she arrived at the gate. Every morning at 6 a.m., exhausted and drained, she went home to sleep. Her salary was barely enough. She lived in a tiny one-room apartment with a broken fan, a mattress on the floor, and a single light bulb that flickered when the power was low. Her clothes were old, her shoes were worn thin, but more than physical poverty, Tara suffered from something deeper. She felt trapped. Every morning as she walked home past the sleeping town, she saw other people's lives through their windows. Families having breakfast together. Children preparing for school, women dressed neatly for office jobs. And Tara would think to herself, will this be my life forever, walking home while everyone else is waking up to their dreams? She had tried to change. She applied for better jobs, but with only a high school education, every door closed. She wanted to learn new skills, but after working all night, she was always too tired. Her mother, who lived in the countryside, called her once a week. Tara, my daughter, when will your life get better? I'm getting old. I want to see you succeed before I die. Tara would force cheerfulness into her voice. Soon, Mama, soon, I'm working on it. But deep down she knew the painful truth. She wasn't because she didn't know how, and that truth weighed on her heart every single day. She wasn't lazy, she worked hard every night. She walked miles. She stayed alert, she did her duty. But hard work alone wasn't changing anything. She was working hard in a life that was going nowhere. And every morning as she collapsed into bed around 7 a.m., sleeping until 4 p.m., she felt like she was living backwards. The world moved forward while she slept through it. One thought kept returning like a whisper she couldn't ignore. There has to be another way. But what? One cold Tuesday morning in November, Tara's phone rang just as she was leaving work. It was her sister. Tara, you need to come home. Mama collapsed. She's in the hospital. Her heart dropped. She took the first bus to her village, a 3-hour journey that felt endless. When she arrived at the small rural clinic, her mother was lying in bed, weak and fragile. The doctor said she had fainted from exhaustion and stress. She needed rest, better food, and medicine they couldn't afford. Her mother held Tara's hand, her voice barely a whisper. My daughter, I don't have much time left. Please, don't waste your life the way I wasted mine. Find a way, promise me. Those words pierced Tara's heart. She sat beside her mother long after she fell asleep, staring at her tired, wrinkled hands. Hands that had worked for decades with nothing to show for it. Just like hers, something inside Tara cracked that night, not with sadness. With determination, she stepped outside the clinic into the pre-dawn darkness. It was 5 a.m., the village was still asleep, but a few farmers were already walking to their fields. The air was cool and fresh, and in that quiet dawn, Tara whispered to herself, no more, I won't live like this anymore. I don't care what it takes. I will find a way. On the bus ride back to town, something unusual happened. Sitting across from her was a well-dressed man in his 50s, calmly reading a book. Tara recognized him, Mr. Chen, a successful businessman who owned several shops. What surprised her was the time. 6 I'm a successful man riding a regular bus at dawn. She gathered her courage. Excuse me, sir. Why are you on such an early bus? He smiled gently. Because I wake up at 4:30 every morning. I use the early hours to read, think, and plan my day before the world wakes up, Tara frowned. But don't you need sleep? I sleep at 9 o'clock p.m. 7.5 hours, enough. He studied her tired face. You work nights, don't you? Yes, and you sleep during the day. Yes. Mr. Chen nodded slowly. So you are awake when the world sleeps and asleep when the world works. No wonder you feel stuck. Those words hit Tara hard. Then he leaned forward. Let me tell you a secret that changed my life. The hours between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. Those are magic hours. That's when ordinary people build extraordinary lives. Hope sparked in Tara's chest. But how? I'm always exhausted. Change your schedule, sleep earlier, wake earlier. Protect those 2 hours like your life depends on it. He handed her a small card with his number. If you're serious about changing your life, call me. The next day, Tara called, and that was the beginning of everything. Mr. Chen gave her a simple system. Hour 1, 56mm. Build a skill. Learn something that can change your income. Hour 2, 67m. Build yourself, exercise, read, plan, grow. He gave her 3 strict rules. Wake up at 5 a.m. every single day. Sleep by 9 p.m. Push through the first 21 difficult days. Tara promised she would. The first week was agony. Her body screamed for more sleep. Her mind begged her to quit. But she remembered her mother in that hospital bed. So at 5 a.m., while the world slept, Tara sat at her small table and studied. She chose to learn Excel and accounting. At 6 a.m., she walked around her neighborhood, feeling the sunrise on her face. Slowly, something inside her began to change. By day 20, waking early didn't feel like punishment anymore. It felt like power. By month 2, she had completed online courses. By month 3, she created an Excel system for her warehouse inventory. Her supervisor was amazed. Tara, how did you learn all this? She smiled. I wake up at 5 a.m. On day 87, she was called into the office. Tara, we need someone in accounting. The job is yours. Day shift. Double salary. She stood there in shock, tears filling her eyes. 3 months ago, she was a hopeless night guard. Now she had a future. 1 year later, Tara had moved her mother to town, paid for her medical care and built a stable, peaceful life. And every morning at 5 a.m. she still woke up, not because she had to, but because those hours changed her destiny. My friend, Tara's story proves something powerful. Your life can change, not someday, not when things get easier, but tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. The question is simple. Will you hit snooze or will you build your future?